Live. Going live. Oh no, I think we're live. Yes.
Are we live?
Oh,
Hey, is this thing on?
Are we
Technically.
totally live?
Oh, snap. We are live. Okay. Now.
Are we alive though?
We are live. Yeah, we are live.
Are you
alive.
sure?
Possibly. Now, people in chat, do we sound okay? Are we a little loud? Are we a little quiet?
Hey, Chris. Welcome.
Yep. Chris, I mean, I talked a little bit earlier. I think we're all right. I think we're okay.
Mainstay's been waiting an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Remember, there's a 15 to 30-second delay. There we go. So we'll start seeing chat, and then we'll just make sure we're good. All right. So
how many viewers? How many people do we have?
Right now we have a whole 4 concurrent because we are popular.
Totally.
Yeah. All right. So. Okay, sound's coming out good. Cool. All right, so we'll start this. Welcome to Foundry episode 2 with Brendon and Adrian and myself, Alex. Say hi. Hi.
What's up?
Now, 30% vaccinated.
Discord stream is paused. Totally paused.
Stream is paused. Resume. Swap your application to resume. Oh well, that's fine. Technical difficulties. Yeah. Let me go back to OBS then.
Hold on.
Yeah. Oh well, that's all good. Yeah. In the Discord to stream, Adrian, it's only if I'm showing a video or something. You can see everything else we're doing. So
okay.
Well, here, I can just do this and we can set this up. OBS. There we go. It's back up. Cool. So yeah, today
welcome to our totally
we are
live stream.
We are super professional. Like extremely professional. So beyond professional. Yeah, but today we're going to kind of go over the circuit board, which we at least got the hardware finally working. Magnetic holsters, magnetic mini holsters, magnetic mag holders, lithopolymer battery, the Lipo, and a little bit more on the Photon, as well as metal wheels. And as always, you should be able to see our cursor. We have our little whiteboard up and running. Let me make sure I can actually draw something on this. I'll give myself a red color. Yeah, it's up and running. So yeah. So how have you two been? Talking.
I am doing something for everyone's mutual amusement.
Fair enough. Well, while you do something for everyone's mutual amusement, I figure we just get straight into the thing that's taken us... When did I start, Adrian, on the circuit board? 10 years? Century?
Months.
A year ago?
Not years.
Not years?
Somewhere there.
Yeah.
It was about this time last year, because it was then that we looked at putting it in the Nexus.
Yeah, and then I'm like, yeah, I could totally do this even though I have no clue how to do circuit boards or circuitry or stuff. But I know electricity.
What could possibly go wrong?
Exactly. It's like, what could happen? So yeah, I think this is prototype number 4? 4 now, yes. And we actually finally got a fully functional one set up. We're looking at creating a complete plug-and-play Selectfire board for a Flywheel hyperdrive setup. It doesn't have to be a micro Flywheel, but we designed it with our micro Flywheels in mind and Merlin's. It can handle the amperage, and actually the board and the setup can handle a 2-stage, and 2-stage all on 3S. It can also handle 2S because we have a voltage sensor. Because Adrian, after we first did the boards, like, you know what'd be cool after you made all this is to add a voltage sensor. And then I went, yeah. So
That's what I'm here for, just to
make my life
throw
hard.
spanners
Yeah.
in the works at the end of everything. Yeah.
So on most of our hardware, we're using an XT30 setup, because after testing and after talking with people in the drone community, XT30s can easily handle about 100 amps, not continuous, but they can handle bursts of 100 amps. So we're like, why are we using XT60s? We don't need them. They're big. You know, they're more hardy. I'll give you that if you use a multi-stage kit. I think Brendon might be falling down a well. Yes.
Wait, what?
I heard a bunch of thunk from
Timmy,
here.
Timmy, you fell down the well.
Timmy fell down the well. Oh no.
It could
Where's Lassie? Lassie!
I mean, I'm resting my head against my chair. Does that count?
Is your chair a
Do
well?
you guys have Lassie?
Oh yeah, we have Lassie. No, that was an American. Wasn't Lassie an American show?
I don't know. It was before my time. My dad used.
Wait, before your time. Ooh.
Yeah.
There was.
Oh! Oh!
Yeah. No. I you know, all good. Don't worry about it. I totally didn't accidentally insult you. It's fine. It's fine. It's good. It's easy. Yeah. But yeah, circuit board. Actually, I could do. Do me a favor, Brendon. Say enhance.
Zoom and enhance.
Ooh,
How was that?
that's perfect. Because if you're actually watching the stream or the Discord, we actually did. I have the technology. We're all like I said, super professional podcast of stuff.
Have you actually watched the $7 Million Man?
7 million.
You know, or $6 million.
$6 million?
Whatever $1 million. Yeah, $6 million. I was one off. Listen, the price is right.
He wanted to add an extra million for the jetpacks, but they wouldn't allow it.
Listen, inflation is hell, man.
Agreed. I mean, taken with inflation nowadays, when the $6 million
$6
man,
million in the 80s would probably be like what, 18 million now?
something like that. Yeah,
it'd be a lot.
yeah. At least like a third of a Bitcoin. That's a show.
And you've lost me.
What do you mean?
Listen, I am aware of Bitcoins, but I have very little concept of how they work, other than they have value today, but they won't have it tomorrow. Or maybe they will.
Or maybe they won't.
Unlike Doge, which had no value yesterday and has much today.
Much
Yeah,
value.
exactly.
Wow.
So basically, everything you knew about Bitcoin will not be necessarily true in 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like life, though. Everything you knew about life could not necessarily be true in the next 5 minutes.
Alex, that's only when you tell me about psychological studies from the Cold War era.
Ah, good times. Good times. I mean, what? No. But yeah, going, getting a little bit back on track. The board, what we have set up is motor controllers and the MOSFETs, powered by 18 mega something. I don't know. I'm not hardware. I don't pretend to know what it does, except for the fact that we know what it does. Yeah, those are sentences and words.
Good save.
Oh yeah, but yeah, the whole thing, we're planning to make it completely plug and play, solderless. You get the board, it has the programming pre-installed. You plug in your motors, you plug in your hyperdrive, you plug in your switches, and you plug in your battery, and then you just use a little Selectfire controller to do what you want with it. And if you want a little bit more advanced, we left the programming pins on easy accessible, And we also added a Bluetooth module, so you can plug in a Bluetooth. So if you wanted a remote distancing, a remote control blaster, you could. Or for me, which one of the reasons this board took so long is because I was a bit neurotic, demanding, all the above. Yeah, I know. I wanted a neuro interface to be able to hook up to it. And seeing chat, Chris, the compliance.
Everything's better with solidified.
Yeah, and Chris, the compliance chip is already pre-installed into all our customers. That's part of the terms and conditions of buying from flywheeltheworld.com. Yeah.
I don't know if we want that.
Hmm?
That's recorded.
It's record. What do you mean? No, that's fine. No one's watching this. You got really quiet. I'm gonna turn you up, Adrian.
Okay.
There we go. No, I mean it's part of the terms and conditions, so technically it's already was recorded. It's just like the terms and conditions for shipping.
Are those the terms and conditions that say it'll take 5 years to ship anything?
That's only to you. Actually, no, that's not true. Our 2 day, I mean, with COVID right now, our 2 day shipping is going. Yeah, it is about a 10-day to get to the East Coast for whatever reason.
Listen, man, the nor'easter it wrecked shop.
It did. I don't know. It's crazy. It's like I sent Brendon a package 2 weeks ago now, ground shipping. It still hasn't left California. Yeah.
You sent me 2 packages at some point, and then one of them finally arrived.
No, this is the foam for the Photon. Yeah.
I've kind of lost track of how many packages I should be expecting at this point.
between 6 and 1 million.
Listen, they all go into basically like a hyperspace, and then I just wait until something comes out of the other end of the wormhole.
Exactly. I mean, so essentially, it takes the long way around the galaxy to get to you.
Listen, they need to complete the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs. Or else Java's gonna have have everyone's head.
I mean, Java wants everyone's head anyway. It's just what Huts want. Huts like to eat heads. It's just facts that I made up. I don't know.
In this analogy, who's Java?
So it sounds like you're saying Jawa.
No, the big slug.
Yeah, the hut. The hut. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if I could use the heads for some neuroimaging, yeah, I'll take the heads.
I was gonna say if there's free heads involved, you're gonna be taking them, and also you're more of the crime lord than I am.
Whoa. I know what you're talking about. We run a legitimate business operation. Is that right, Adrian?
Excuse me, boss. Where do you want the evil lava pit? Sign right here, please.
Hey, lava pits aren't evil. Oh, did we lose Adrian?
I'm here.
Oh, you're there. Okay.
He fell into the lava pit.
Yeah. Lava pits aren't evil. They're useful. I mean, if you have a dwelling or place of business and it gets attacked by marauders, you're more than likely to survive, and if you're a place of business, whatever products you have or manufacturing equipment, or even your employees will be more than likely survive if you have a lava pit and or moat. It's just, it's just science.
You need to make sure there's proper ventilation and heat management, because otherwise everyone inside is going to die from sulfur inhalation and also heat.
Yeah. I mean, you just make the whole thing geothermal powered. That's the whole point of the lava pit, right? So it's like
but the excess heat has to go somewhere. So either your lava pit needs to be not inside, or it needs to have some really good ass heating and ventilation.
It's outside. I mean, who has a lava pit inside? Lava pits are like it's an outside thing.
Listen, Alex, I don't know if you're the type of person who wants an elevated pedestal of an office surrounded by a giant lava pit, and then there's only like a 1 foot wide bridge to approach your desk. I don't know if you're that type of villain or not.
No. See, you have the quote unquote glass floor that looks like it's lava underneath, but in reality, it's just like a giant projection, like a TV.
It's a giant like digital fireplace.
Exactly. And then so then you have the drawbridge, but in reality, the whole thing's safe, and then you just have that one drop tube that filters in, maybe using some flywheel or air technology to push the individual into the lava pit that's outside. Yeah. I mean, it's basic stuff. Yeah. So
glad to see you have it all planned out.
Oh yeah. I mean, of course. But yeah. So getting back on.
Alex, cue the on rails clip.
Oh yeah, we gotta get back on rails. Hang on, where is it? Okay, getting a little bit back on rails.
That's coping.
Was it clipping?
It's coping, not a rail.
Yeah.
It's coping.
Yeah, we're back on the rails. Totally.
Back on.
Yeah, circuit board. Anyway, one of the reasons I wanted the neural interface setup is just eventually with the Bluetooth connection, and we actually can have a neural interface thing. You can fire a Nerf blaster with your brain, because you got to be able to fire a Nerf blaster with your brain. Otherwise, what the hell are you doing? So one of the reasons it took so long is we had to establish such a clean signal to go from the Bluetooth to the processor to be sent to the MOSFETs or whatever we use. And eventually, like I said, we used a motor controller to a MOSFET to then fire everything. But the very, very long and short of it is completely plug and play XT30s. No soldering except for the motors, which we're slowly working on that part as well. If you have the room, you can solder a kit to the motors.
And once this all comes out.
Yeah. What was that, Adrian?
Can you not hear me? Am I?
Yeah, you're a little quiet again.
I'm not changing anything.
There you go. Now you're really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once this is all up on the site, also with motors.
You're cutting. You're cutting out in and out.
Okay. I'm going to be back in a second.
Yep. Okay. But as you're saying, I'll just keep going. Yeah. Once this comes back on the site, then the next step would be to modify our motors to be completely solderless, as well. So it's just a complete plug and play setup. The other thing is, once we actually get the boards in, our hyperdrives will also start coming with XT30s as well. Pre-soldered on, so it's literally just a plug-in. The board itself, as we said, has that voltage sensor, which will allow for 2S or 3S. So if you want something a little bit lower powered, or you're using a full-size flywheel setup, the board will automatically recognize the 2S setup. At which point it will do it. It'll essentially, the only thing it'll do differently is decrease the rate of fire for the solenoid, because the solenoid can function on 2S. You're only going to be hitting, I think it's like 6 darts a second, roughly. When Adrian gets back, he'll be able to correct me on that. But yeah, with all that, right now we're still trying to finalize price points of these.
Okay, I'm going to try this. Let's try that. How's that?
Oh, you're loud. And Adrian, you got to mute yourself, man. I have full feedback.
Yeah, that's coming. Blah.
Yep.
That needs to be it.
More technical difficulties.
There we go. Sorry, I took my Bluetooth headphones off and my computer started spewing sound out from the live stream.
Okay, you're good now. Yeah, Adrian, the the hyperdrive on 2S. What's the FPS, the darts per second of it?
Somewhere between 7 and 9.
7. Okay, I thought it was only 6. Okay, cool. So yeah, I was just going on. I don't know if you were able to hear me while I was doing that. No,
I was addressing my son's need to watch The Flash. So I had to deal with that while I was off.
Yeah. But yes. Yeah, I was basically going over that the board automatically senses the 2S capabilities, and would decrease the hyperdrive's rate of fire. Essentially, it would change the cycling times because it can't. Cycling times would be different from the 3S to the 2S. And let's see. So yeah, with that. And then also, Adrian, I mentioned that the hyperdrives will start coming with XT30s as soon as the board is out. Obviously, what everyone's looking at is the prototype board. We have to make it look nice, not have all the R&D symbols on it, and then we'll go. Go into full production with it. Also backtracking on the what do you call it? Bluetooth and the, I guess, modability, quote unquote, is we will the pins we will have the board if people want to change the code, they are completely able to at their own risk. But if they wanted to add more Bluetooth functionality or more connectivity, it's there for the more advanced user. The board is aimed towards the I don't want to do anything except put this in a blaster, screw it in, and plug it in. But there's always other options to play around with it. I'll scroll out a little bit, and as you can see, you actually can't really see well from these pictures. We are using DB2s. Actually, these aren't DB2s, but we are going to be using DB2s as the switches. Yes, they are rated to 10 amps, and yes, these switches need to handle, I think, 10 milliamps because of the MOSFETs. But the DB2 setups, the switch is just so nice. It clicks well. It has huge cycle reliability, and even though it's extremely overkill for a MOSFET board setup, it just feels nice. Obviously, with those plugs, we can get super tiny switches. I found 1mm by 1mm switches that we also will probably have available. If people want that if they want to do something custom with it. But I think the FTW cages, right, Adrian? All the FTW cages use DB2s. Photon uses DB2s. Yes. Nexus uses DB2s.
That's correct.
Future blasters will more than likely use DB2s until Brendon decides, no, I don't like DB2s anymore. Yeah. Everything will probably...
The only reason we won't use a DB2 is if we physically can't fit it in the space.
Yeah. And then we'll cry about it. And then, yeah, fix that. All right. So, Adrian, are you good? Are you good to go to the...
I think I'm good. Did you talk about, because when my microphone died, I was going to be talking about the fact that once this is all up on the store, we will have pre-soldered motor pairs with the kit already on.
Oh, no, I didn't talk about... Yeah. So, yeah, as that stepping stone to make it to make it fully a solderless setup, yes, we will be selling on top of just the normal micro flywheel cages for the recon, the deploy, long strike, whatever next we decide to send out as well. Yes, the pre-soldered, so it will be completely plug and play. If people want that. So, I get it. People are busy, so sometimes you just want to do the least amount of work as possible. But yeah. And then I did mention, Adrian, that in the future we are working on a completely solderless motor, but that is sadly way down the line.
Yes.
A little bit beyond our hobby niche. But yeah. Anything else you want to touch on the
I think that covers the electronic-y side of it pretty good.
Cool. Yeah, if people have questions, feel free to ask. We'll bring up the best we can. Look at that. Slide it on over to the orbit. So, Adrian, if you want to take the floor for this.
So, where are we? I've lost my... There we go, we're on the orbit. I just need to get my screen there. There we go. So, yes, the orbit is something that we have been working on. I was working on it around the same time as the Snap Mag. So basically it is a holster spacing holster. On the back of it, it has now I've forgotten who was the originator of this, but it has the same spline that a lot of the gel ball and real steel companies use. So it is compatible with rotating holsters from SciTac and IMI, and jump in here, Alex, because I've gone blank.
I mean, SciTac, IMI, AM something. Honestly, 90% of the civilian holster companies use maybe about 70% use the spline. So there's a plethora number of holsters out there that have the rotation spline set up that this can interface into. So instead of us having a holster component, I mean, we will have a holster component with it that we will also be able to provide, but everyone has their own tastes. We get that. So there might be a very specific type of holster you like, and then with that much range, it gives everyone the flexibility of choosing the exact setup, whether it's drop leg, MOLLE attachment, PALS attachment, I don't know, some crazy head mounted thing, whatever they want. Ooh, a head mounted thing would actually be kind of cool.
What do we need a head mounted roto holster for?
I don't know, reasons.
I'm just...
What do we need anything?
Okay.
Oh, Adrian, are you familiar with those baseball hats that you wear that you have cups in? Basically, you could put guns in there.
There you go. Bam.
Okay.
Blasters. You gotta use proper terminology.
Blasters. Yes.
Okay, so I scrolled down.
So that's pretty straightforward. Yeah, you scroll down, so you're showing the Nexus there. There will be a Nexus skin to suit the orbit. That's already been tested. I've been running one in testing. We're doing a bit of redesign on the shell of the Nexus at the moment to address some issues that have come up with the shell or the skin in use over time. And so that basically the goal is that once the circuit board is out, the Nexus will be available in various... Yes, Coney Dog, you could mount your deploy to your head if you really wanted to, sorry.
Yeah.
We can't stop you from doing this. We can strongly advise against it.
I will strongly encourage you.
Not for... I was going to say not for safety reasons, just because...
Yeah, head-mounted blaster. But yeah, so the Nexus...
Yeah,
sorry,
I'm getting distracted.
No, all good. This is what we do. We derail half the time. So we'll have many Nexus skins, shells out during release of the Nexus, or
we'll have a few out at release. I've got a couple others that I've been working on that haven't been publicly shown yet.
Yep. Yeah, I had to think what was actually shown and what was not.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I've only actually shown the original skin at the moment, and now the holster / orbit compatible skin. So yeah, the spacing is exactly the same as the original holsters. So for anyone who is running existing holster mounts, it will work directly with that.
Nice. You want me to scroll down?
Yeah, scroll down. What are we scrolling down to? Are we going to the mini? Have we
Yeah,
got
we're
the
going to
mini?
Snap Mags. Or do you want? Yeah, we can go straight to the
Oh,
mini.
what about the mini? We should
Yeah.
go to the mini, and then we can
Uh-huh.
come back to the Snap Mag.
Yeah, we could just show some other stuff really quickly. Look at all the stuff we're showing. There we go. We got the
There we go.
Photon with the mini.
So we also have the Orbit Mini, which will be coming out. That's a much closer spacing. I cannot remember the millimeters right now, but that will be published. So if people want to put magnets directly onto their blasters, we're going to have the magnets available for the blasters. We're going to have different mounting kits, as well as the holsters. And the Orbit Mini, the spacing on that has been designed so it will work with a jolt, should you so desire.
Yeah. The Orbit Mini is designed for the sidearm. You don't need the super large holster spacing. The magnets are... You also use the smaller magnets and smaller receivers as well. It's...
Overall, it's just under... It's just on 2/3 the size of the full-size holster.
Yeah. And these magnets are so stupidly strong that even the Orbit Mini magnets, I think, are rated to, was it 15 or 20 kilos each?
Something silly like that.
Yeah. You'll break everything else before the magnets will come undone. Yeah.
Means you can carry 15 spools of filament on your hip if you felt so inclined.
15 spools of filament.
So we've just got an ETA of the Nexus from Mainstay in the questions, given that we were just talking about that. This year at some point is all I'm going to say for now. Now that the circuit board is actually functioning after how many prototypes did we go through before we got that running, Alex?
Five, 6 over a
year. 5 or 6. So after 5 or 6 attempts, we've now got the circuit board at a state of functionality. So it's some slight redesigns based on the testing. I've been running Nexus in games basically since we opened up from COVID over here in the west of Australia, which was what, July last year?
Yeah, you got lucky. Yep.
Yeah. So I've been running it since then, and I've just found a couple of things I want to improve about in the design, just to make sure the longevity is good, because I don't want to sell anything that isn't going to last well for people. And then we've got to just test and make the mount for the board and bits and pieces like that. So it's pretty close. It's actually just been sitting waiting for the board for most of the last.
Yeah, Adrian's basically like, "Is the board done yet?" I'm like, "Well, we'll see." And I go, "No, it's on fire." And he goes, "Okay."
The reason for waiting for the board is that when we did the math and worked out the costings, it was actually going to cost more for a direct wired semi-auto than it will for the plug and play with the Selectfire board built in. So we figured we didn't want to drop it in semi-auto and then release it cheaper with more features.
Yeah, that's
and as it turns out, it's just as well, because the longer period of prototyping's actually been beneficial on the design side as well.
So the trademark coming soon, eventually.
Very coming soon. Very, very soon.
Very, very soon. Not just soon. Very, very soon.
But we should specify this is still COVID very soon.
Yeah.
Not pre-COVID very soon.
Yeah.
Everything we get shipped at the moment is taking so much longer to come in.
Yeah, and some of the things are R&D equipment that just we can't move on certain products or certain designs until we actually receive them. And it sucks, but it's just life right now. So Chris asked, can the orbit be changed to go different directions? Yes, it's full. It could spin in a full 360.
No, he's not talking about that. He's talking about the individual mounts. So the individual mounts, not at this point, but if that's something that people want, that's a relatively simple thing to add before release.
Oh yeah.
So yes, I will make it so that can be mounted in a few different directions.
Yeah. No, and not Orange Mod Works.
No, definitely not OMW very soon.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly. But yeah, so going a bit into the Snap Mag now that I have that up. Whoop, that has been enhancing that a little too much. Of course. Don't mind me. Okay, there we go. We're going back.
So snap mag.
Yeah. So it's essentially, it's now going to be a single printed piece, right, Adrian? That we can
It's going
mount.
to be a single printed piece in the bottom. So it will be a case of the snap mag will be a single printed piece, and there'll be a drill template that will come with it as well. So you slide the template over the bottom of your mag, or you pull the base off first, slide the template over the bottom of your mag, drill through the two sides, slide the base piece in, and screw in the magnets.
Modifying third-party Nerf stuff or hobby stuff. What? Yeah. It's in practice. It's super easy to do. And just the mag setup. I'm gonna scroll down to the other angled. It makes it so nice. I'm actually gonna go move down to the rig that you have set up, Adrian. So we can actually, if I remember correctly, saying it's more the consumer, the person who it's up to the individual.
No, you've gone too far. You've gone too far now. You need to. Hang on, I lost everything completely there. I completely dropped off. I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't see anything.
All good. Okay.
And now I'm back.
Yeah, now you're back. Sweet. Australia. So it's up to the individual where you mount the mags. Like if you want to mount them pointing down, you can. If you want to mount them pointing up, you can.
Can you go back to that middle picture?
Yeah, I can go back.
Seeing as I dropped out when you were on there.
Yeah.
So there we go. So that ring piece around the bottom I was finding was too brittle printed in PLA or PLA Plus. A drop on the ground and it would crack off. Wouldn't affect the functionality, but affects the aesthetic. So I was going to try printing it in a Flex PLA or a TPU, but I think the one-piece design will be a lot stronger and will be quicker to print and therefore cheaper overall. So that whole bottom block will now be one piece.
Cool. But yeah, is going into the just the mounting of it, like on the body.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have it mounted pointing up, but it can be mounted pointing down as well, correct?
It can be mounted either way up. Yeah. The mag holders have pieces to stop it rotating, so they've got the same spline on the back of them as the orbit holster, so they're also fully compatible with all of the civilian spec holster options that we were talking about before. And they're also built onto a Picatinny, so you can mount the SnapMag receiver on a Picatinny, or you put it on a Picatinny adapter to the spline. There's all kinds of different ways you can mount them.
Nice. And then
yeah, you go.
I was gonna say, you want me to show the video?
Go on. Yeah, show the video.
Yeah.
So I haven't actually. I asked them at the time if they were okay with me using it, and they said yes. I haven't spoken to them specifically about today, but I don't think anyone will.
Go. There we go.
Man, that's so easy. Hey, super easy, man.
So yeah, it's it can, especially if you angle it correctly and you get into your preference. Yeah, just reloading or unloading and reloading would be cake. I have the second one I'm gonna play as well. So someone else doing it. So yeah, I just had two.
That was both of those videos. That was the first time they'd tried it. They literally strapped it on and they took the video.
Nice.
And I had a couple of people when I first wore it to a game asking, were worried that it was going to snag on things. I've run that holster arrangement for probably 5 or 6 games with no snagging and no issues. The point at which it doesn't sit wider than your shoulder. So the point at which you're going to catch that on something is the point at which you're already squeezing through a gap anyway, and you're paying attention.
Yeah. And I mean, this is one thing that got pointed out ages ago when the holster came out, but I'm assuming you had no issues because with magnets on both sides, that something gets magnetized on the other end and gets like stuck.
I haven't come across any issues.
Yeah.
The other thing is strength-wise. If you scroll down another one, Alex.
Okay.
This one's also a good one. It shows the Picatinny mount and how it clamps on. So that shows, if you look at the actual receiver there, you can see how it clamps onto the Picatinny. It's a full-length clamp, so it's nice and solid. You can mount. I've actually had it with 2 mags mounted along the top rail of my Caliburn, and that worked rather nicely. Yeah, so you could theoretically mount a whole bunch of mags onto your blaster and a bunch onto your belt and onto your vest, all using the one receiver. There's also a receiver without tabs, which lets the mag spin freely. Personally, I don't like that one because the mags clatter against each other. But it can make it easier to take the mag out if you want to not drop it on the ground. So what I've done a couple of times is I've had receivers across my back that have no sides on them, so they can spin freely, and then I can just drop the mag into that and pull the blaster off it, and it just drops down and hangs upside down.
Yeah.
The empty mags around across the back of my belt.
And plus the clanking is, the psychological effect as you're charging down someone, they hear the click clacking of mags. So yeah.
That works in that scenario. Less than ideal when you're creeping around and your mags are going click 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 click.
Look, if you tag everyone out, you're stealthy, no matter how loud you are.
When you have that many mags dangling around your belt freely, does it look like hula skirt made of magazines?
Hula skirt of death.
No, because normally it's only, when I run it, it's 3 on each side and 1 in the blaster, and so then on the back of my belt I have 3 on each side.
But if you had a belt full of receiving ends, you could have a hula skirt of death.
You could.
You could. I actually have a picture of my daughter somewhere wearing full-size mags in fast mags, and she's got 6 on her, and she was only, I think, 12 at the time, and she looks like she's wearing a skirt made of mags.
Nice.
Full-size mags. Wait, how tall is she in the photo? Just out of curiosity.
It would have been about a fourth of her height.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It could have, like, it extended almost all the way to her knees. So
yeah. So
that's
Adrian,
hilarious and adorable.
The mags use the mini orbits magnets.
The mags use the same magnets as the mini orbit. Yes.
Yeah. So in theory,
so theoretically, you could drop 2 mags into your mini orbit and mount it sideways if you really wanted to.
Yeah. Cross compatibility. Why not?
But yeah, you can see from that picture there also, now if we get away from the mounting, you can see how strong the whole thing is from the spline right through, because that nexus is just hanging off the mag. I'm not holding it. It's not got any wires or anything. Basically, that's a 500 gram blaster. What's that in? Can you imperialize that for me, Alex? Half a kilo
heavy
in freedom units.
1.1 pounds.
There you go. It's just over a pound's worth of blaster at the end of a 7-inch mag, levering on a 45 degree, and I ran around the house like that, and it didn't break or fall or come loose. It was very uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, but it looks cool. And that's like, yes, is it ideal? No, but is it super easy to grab and unholster? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And if we actually get my neuro interface hooked up, you could just have it mounted like that and then just think fire and it'll be great. Yes.
Mm. Oh, yeah. the other thing is it can be used to mount other things. Especially the no sides free rotating ones. I've made up a mount so that I can put 2 of those on my vest, and I can actually mount my. I should have given you a picture of this, Alex.
You should have.
So I can mount my
Water
my
bottle?
Crane M2, my Crane M2 gimbal and my GoPro on my vest.
Oh,
By
nice.
2 of these, so it just clips on and off. I'll see if I can keep talking. I'll see if I can send you the picture. If you can I add a picture?
Yes.
Or is it only you can add a picture?
You can add a picture if you go to the upload section and just put it right next to the Nexus there. Yeah, but it's a lot of other people have like made other adapters using these mags. It's like there's water bottle stuff, phone adapters, and it's just these magnets are so stupidly strong. They can hold pretty much anything. And yeah, they're great. They're durable. With 90% of products that we get and 100% of projects that we sell, I stress test them stupidly. So when I first got these magnets, I throw them downstairs. I throw them off a roof. Put some in underwater.
You just like trying to break stuff.
No. Stress test. Stress test. Throw them at people. Stress test the people. Stress test everything. You never know when something you sell has to be used to be chucked at someone else. So you want to ensure that it has maximum thing. So while you find that picture, I'm actually going to scroll up to the next thing, and then we'll just dump that in when you get it, because this kind of leads into the next thing I want to talk about, which is the Lipo. So we've been using Turnigy bolts, 500 milliamp bolts for the longest time. Oh, wait, wasn't it? Yes, you could use the Bluetooth Selectfire to have it mounted on the shoulder and fire.
Absolutely, you could.
Yeah. And yes, Chris, my DMing is pure psychological stress tests. It's good times. Not for the players, but for me. But yes, the core is basically we're using this Lipo specifically. It's pretty close to what we want, but there could be a few little tweaks. So we're like, well, how do we make our own? And we've figured out how to do it. So, or get it manufactured and get everything what we want in a battery, and what would work for our system, the whole micro flywheel circuit board thing, hyperdrive and everything. So we're looking at a 500 milliamp high burst rating, 120C 3S Lipo with the XT30 setup. Yeah, with an XT30 setup. And Adrian messaged me. I thought you were going to upload it yourself, but I can do it.
I am.
Okay.
Oh, if you can do it, you do it. You'll be quicker because I don't know the software.
Yeah.
I was messaging it so I could get it from my phone
Okay.
to my computer.
With an XT30 setup and tiny, just super small. I think I have the dimensions here. Yeah. And we're doing everything in metric, so apologies, but also not, because yes, even was born in the States, but I was taught in Australia, so meh.
And I'm in Australia, so.
Yeah. So the Lipo that we're looking at is 54 by 30 by 13.5 millimeters. These things would easily fit in most sidearm micro flywheel blasters. Actually, I think I'm gonna say all sidearm micro flywheel blasters, because we checked in with Milan. Yeah, Milan. It fits in his concept pistol. All the Mariuses, the Viper.
The Devil's concept pistol has the smallest battery tray that's come out so far, and it fits in that.
I mean, I'd argue that the Recon, Flywheel of the World Recon, has the smallest battery tray.
No, because the battery that we put in the Recon doesn't fit in Devil's.
Oh, fair enough.
The bolt is slightly too big for the Devil's.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then yes, this one should fit in according to, and yeah, we asked him, and it should fit in. So pretty much every micro flywheel setup. It is definitely marketed towards a sidearm, as being the 500 milliamps. But I've ran, I think Adrian also as well has, run 500 milliamp batteries in the Nexus full auto, and that's lasted me easily a full war, 4-hour war.
Not a full day war,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, 4-hour war
And
going ham.
they're small, light, and easy to change. You can change them between rounds.
Exactly. Yeah. And with the added benefit of I got much thicker wire. The bolts use a very thin wire. It's 18 gauge. It's actually a little smaller than 18 gauge. So we moved up to 16. Still super flexible, still be able to fit in everything. But if you really wanted to, and I mean, I can see why. If you wanted a very, like a 1 round or 2 round setup, you could 2-stage. You power to 2-stage a hyperdrive setup. Which is, yeah, it would drain it decently fast. But it would definitely do it, and the board is capable. So once again, it's all kind of more like the, for lack of a better word, an ecosystem that we're trying to set up with our products.
Into integrated ecosystem.
Yeah. So the Lipo can just basically directly plug into the Synapse or circuit board, which will then power the hyperdrive and pair of Merlins, and you go ham. The other thing with going backtracking a little bit to the Synapse, our circuit board, it has a built-in voltage cutoff as well. So it will recognize whether you have the 2S or 3S plugged in, and it will turn off the board once it hits basically a voltage level for either 2S or 3S that obviously you don't want to drain it below. With a little bit of extra coding, you could even pump that out via display over Bluetooth. But in reality, it's just like, okay, cool, my blaster stopped working. It's like, okay, it's because it's out of power, and then you don't kill your Lipo, and it keeps everything nice and safe. There is also a bit of thermal sensors on it as well. So if for some reason your blaster ever gets really, really hot for some unforeseen malfunction, whether it's our hardware, whether you're nerfing on the surface of the sun, whatever, it will also shut off to make sure nothing else gets damaged.
By the surface of the sun, you mean Western Australia or Florida?
Yeah. You live in the sun. Exactly. So backtrack, and then once again, skipping around, we'll go back here, see some drawings, and I don't know how well this will post. There we go. And I'll make this a little bit bigger.
Make it bigger.
Oh yeah, hang on.
What is this? A picture for ants?
Yes. Ooh, that's a very blurry picture.
It's very low res. But that is a Crane M2 gimbal mounted using the Snap Mag system at 2 points.
Nice.
With a GoPro on it.
Yeah. I mean,
so
really,
just to show the.
Really, we have to make one for like the pocket cameras, because that seems to be the new war camera setup. The all-in-one micro gimbals.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, we can add different adaptability and stuff for connections. Yeah.
That was just the gimbal that I have. It's less than ideal as a body mount because it's big and heavy and clunky. But
yeah.
It actually functions, and it proves that the mounts can handle it. So with something smaller, it'd be even easier.
Oh yeah, I mean, at one point we have to use the magnets to mount some person to another person. So it just has to be done. I'm looking at you, Brendon.
What do you need me to do?
He wants you to be a Siamese juggernaut.
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you need me to glue together?
I don't know. We'll probably do you and someone else.
Okay, well, if it's me and someone, well, depending on who the someone else is, it would have to, because like mass is going to probably dictate how strong those two connections need to be and
Exactly.
stuff.
Yeah.
So actually, Mainstay asked a question. I think he asked it before we talked about the voltage cutoff,
Mm.
but he's asking about a voltage alarm. Is there any indication that the battery is getting low before the board shuts down?
There's as the normal setup, no. As if you want to add into the Bluetooth and other software that we can add later down the line, like basically pure software side, yes, we can add in different voltage cutoffs, voltage alarms. One thing that will also be stocking on the site is there's for as long as you do the certain type of chemistry with the battery, there's a very tiny voltage alarm that you can plug into a balance charger. So not the big chunky ones, but it's only about a millimeter thick, and it's just the length of the balance, and it also makes sure that your balance charger stays clean, and it gives that beep 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 sound. So yeah, I just found those today, and I was like, oh, those are so easy. And
I haven't seen those yet.
Yeah, I will.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
send it to you after the thing. I literally found them today. I'm like, oh, these are perfect. These are awesome. Yeah, the reason we didn't do it on the board is that type of audio signal will screw up other signals. Once again, this is me being very nitpicky to make sure neurological data could actually be sent to that processing unit. And basically what's on the board now, with the amount of signal clarity that we wanted, we could not add anything else. I tried. I wanted lights. I wanted LEDs, and other stuff, but it's a good step one. We have a more advanced version planned for the future. It will have to be a little bit bigger though to host those extra components. But yes, for the short term, it's a little extra thing that plugs into the balance charger, makes a little beep 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 sound, and also the board will do a power down. One other thing that we can do, and we probably will, is software wise, and I think Max is in the channel, so I just thought of this. We could make as soon as the board it's about to power off, we could make the motors pulse like 5 times in a row, just really quickly about to power.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and it's like do. So it's the motors and the wheels themselves doing the power
really
down.
like that idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a note of that, so that's gonna happen. Sorry, Max, you're gonna have to do that now. If you're listening. Yeah.
Well,
So
at least I get a choice when I get told stuff. He doesn't even get any choice. He just gets told what to do.
you don't get a choice either.
Hey, Max,
Yeah, no, I don't.
Max must dread it when he hears you say that one of us has had a good idea.
Yeah.
He must just like
I
curl up
hate
into
it
a
when
fetal
Alex
position.
Sophie has a good idea.
Or worse, when I sometimes when I incept ideas into Brendon's head. And
oh god, those are even worse because then it becomes my idea,
Yeah.
sort of.
exactly.
Those-
And it's just late at night. You can't stop thinking. You have to keep doing it. You have to work it. You have to make it work.
Alex, I
Yeah.
just wanted to make a Mass Effect pistol, and now you've made me try to cram the Synapse into it.
Yes. But it was totally your idea. It wasn't mine.
It was eventually my idea, but I hate that it started from your seedling of an idea.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in everyone's head and in everyone's closet. It's just life.
Listen, it's those compliance chips. I need to find a way to drill it out of my head.
Yeah. So, moving on. Metal flywheels. Metal flywheels.
Oh.
Yes, metal. So one thing that was brought up to me, I think it was Justin. So MTB Justin brought up to me that one of the next logical steps for the flywheel setup is we could make them heavier. And to increase FPS with a single stage micro flywheel setup, you only can add so much voltage and make them spin so fast before they just start grinding down darts and not able to transfer energy, that extra energy. But actually increasing the mass of the flywheels will provide more inertia to the dart. So we are currently looking at creating a brass micro flywheel to essentially, increase FPS. They will be heavier. We're looking at about 8 times the weight of the current micro flywheels. With a acetyl Delrin sleeve, essentially in the center. They should be. I say should be because we still need to get this finalized, but they should be the sleeve should be pre-mounted into the metal, to the wheels, so you literally just pop them on like normal. But but they should roughly increase FPS. How much? We don't know. We're still testing. Or that once we get a sample, we begin testing. But theoretically, 10 more FPS, maybe. I don't know. I'm not an engineer. Brendon, how much faster would they go?
Exactly 82.
82. Yep, 82 faster.
That's not the answer for everything. It's 42. Where's your maths gone, Brendon?
Well, you
Yes.
see, I added 40 to 42. So.
But where did you get the 40 from?
It's a multiple of 8, and it comes from being 8 times heavier.
Yep. And then, so one thing, if we see significant numbers with the 8 times heavier, the next logical step is to go even heavier. So why not go all the way to tungsten, which is 30 times heavier? We might need a different motor set for the tungsten wheels. But we've already found the manufacturers to actually do that. So it's
Yeah.
Gone blank. Did you post
Gone
that?
blank.
Did you post that picture above the wheels? Do you want me to move up to that? I don't even know what that is.
I put that in there. Yeah, this is just for Mainstay. I don't know who Mainstay is in terms of his actual person, so there's a chance he may have seen this because I've shown a couple of people, but I haven't shared it publicly before.
Yeah, I'm scrolling up to it right now. That's
But
basically it for the metal wheels.
Yep. So seeing as Mainstay is so excited about the Nexus, I thought I'd tease this one to him. This is the Long Boy skin for the Nexus. So same receiver, same internals. This will run a dual or a triple stage. There'll be both options. And it will convert from a normal Nexus to this. The goal is with no tools, completely toolless.
I mean, is it the whole Nexus completely toolless?
The whole Nexus is completely toolless, but I want even the rifle length thing to be completely toolless.
So you would purchase a normal Nexus, and then you just purchase the kit and just clip it on?
That's exactly right.
Okay, nice.
Also, Mainstay, you shouldn't need more powerful motors for brass flywheels. The Merlins should handle that fine. Obviously, before we release them, we will do substantial amounts of testing on that. For the tungsten wheels, we may need something else.
Yeah, we'll need something. The tungsten wheels, I'm gonna be 100% honest, will probably never be in a full production thing. We'll definitely get them made, but
I reckon a 180 housing Merlin spec would probably handle those.
Yeah. Or if we can get 2 Merlins to function in sync.
Yeah.
Or use a drive shaft gearing. But yeah. Different things. But yeah, as Adrian said, the Merlins have too much power right now for the wheels that they're on. There's they technically function even though they have a wheel on it at no load voltage, because it just doesn't care about when wheels are mounted to it.
Uranium wheels.
Uranium, yeah, might as well. What's Chris saying? Yeah. Just, I mean, get out of my head, Chris. We will.
What are we doing tomorrow
Actually,
night, Pinky?
why don't we? No, actually, the heaviest thing we could make flywheels out of, in a theoretical sense, is neutron star matter.
Yeah. I mean that's just that's the next step after titanium. Neutron stars.
Well, titanium actually isn't that heavy because, that's fairly common knowledge, is that titanium is really light for its strength. So it actually
No, not titanium, tungsten. So tungsten and then
okay,
yeah. Titanium is supposed to be lightweight and
titanium
strong.
would be a great blaster material, but it wouldn't be a great flywheel material.
Yeah. But yeah, long boy, the stock. How long are you gonna make that stock, Adrian?
The stock's extendable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Max extension.
And I may do one that has. I may do a back half that has an integrated stock and can take a larger battery as well.
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
So there will be many options over time. It's not going to be a release and forget blaster. The idea is that it's going to be a platform which will have the many and varied options.
Yeah, all the skins. We'll have a Dogecoin
All of the
skin
skins.
and more Dogecoin skins. Just all the Dogecoin skins. Dogecoin for life. Anyway, yes. Anything else you want to bring up on that before I move to the next one?
No, feel free to move to the next.
All right.
Do the moving on thing.
Do the moving on thing. So, just going a little bit more into the Photon and update. So, I guess this is the portion where we do blaster updating and stuff. Photon. Right now, we're sending out the review copies to a handful of reviewers. We had a little bit of hiccup with hardware, and then a little bit of hiccup with shipping, but they are on their way to they have begun their journey to the reviewers. Part of the thing that we're figuring out right now is Lipo shipping. Lipo shipping is we have to do it via ground, and there's a little bit of paperwork that needs to be done. So we're just working out that before we actually hit to a full retail base. The Photons will come with Lipos. They will come with the core. So that's one of the reasons we have to work that out. Furthermore, we've been doing some more testing on the Photon. I can actually show some stress testing that I have done. Let's play that again. Because as I said, I stress test. I can do another one. So yeah, one thing I've been personally doing is taking pretty much every bit of the Photon, completed Photons, and beating them with an inch of their life.
I'm sorry, was that did that hammer turn into a knife at the end of that clip?
Yeah.
Or did I see things?
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta hit things with knives.
Wait, you used the hammer to hit the back of the knife into the blaster, or?
No. I use the hammer in my right hand and the knife in my left hand.
Oh, so it was a double whammy.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
A bit of misleading, deception.
Bait and switch.
Yeah, bait and switch. There you go. But you gotta make
the hammer to get the knife.
Exactly. I mean, you hit something with a hammer, but you don't know if it's knife proof, so you might as well hit it with a knife. Yeah, and that's actually the same handle as the completed Photon picture there. And yeah, we've been I've been going to town on it. Just these poor Photons. Poor, yes. But my big thing is if we sell a blaster, even the 3D printed blaster, it needs to be able to handle a decent amount of stress. I do not ever advise throwing your Photon down the stairs off a roof into a pool. But having done that, except for the pool, because chlorine and Merlins don't mix, yeah, it still functions quite nicely. So one thing, once the reviewers receive their copies, we will start the actual listing of the Photon on our site. And then more information will be given by the reviewers and stuff. One thing I did want to point out from the site is we will be doing a color picker option. So I'll just give a little, it's not really a preview even, it's just like one of the things. But yeah, it'll basically allow you to scroll between different color setups of what you want. We do have essentially 3 color zones. Where you see the black, the green, and the orange. The blasters will always come with orange tips, orange barrels. If that is not preferred, if you do not want an orange barrel, that will have to be something that you contact us directly and make a special order. Simply because we then have to do a different processing to ship it. Because it, even though it's super... what's the word? There's no way someone can really classify these as looking like a firearm. We still want to be on the safe side, and because by U.S. law it should have a orange tip if it even looks semi-gun like. So we have to ship it differently if we are shipping it without an orange barrel. That's, once again, that is a direct contact. Also, we will have a decently sized list of colors, but we will also be offering, if you have a specific color that you like, that is also, we can try to work that out via contacting us on flywheeltheworld.com. And yeah, so mainstay, the 3D printing that I set up is I've tried so many different filaments, and I personally use eSun with a little bit of printing techniques just to make sure that they're strong enough. And that's one of the reasons we will probably not offer every color under the sun, because we don't print in normal PLA, and because I can't in a good conscience justify selling something that could melt in normal heat out in the sun or break easily. I want, if you smack someone in the head with this, I want the bones to break before the blaster.
Good conscience, everyone.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. All right. We're already at an hour 12. So anything else that you guys want to wrap up with before we start wrapping this up?
I think we've covered everything we were going to cover.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, anyone that's stuck through our madness have questions, comments, concerns, explosions?
Anything we haven't covered? Anything about anything we've talked about that you feel like we didn't give enough information? You'd like to know something more? Yada yada, so on.
Would you like to know
so
more?
Forth.
Yes, and also remember 30-second delay. So now that we asked the question, we got to do that thing where we wait 30 seconds to see if it pops up in chat.
Spanish Inquisition.
Didn't expect it.
Bring out the comfy chair.
Yeah, the comfiest chair. But yes, as Mainstay said, yeah, we do want it to look like a toy. That's one of the other things. Actually, come to think of it, if someone does order a full all black blaster, the Photon comes fully assembled unless special colors are involved, and the special colors make it untoy-like. At that point, it will come fully disassembled. And then it'll be up to the consumer to assemble it. When they say fully disassembled, there'll just be some screws that you'll have to put together. All the soldering and circuitry will be already in place. Well, that is definitely the delay. It looks like everyone's pretty good. There's no extra questions, comments, concerns. One thing
I think we've bored them sufficiently.
Yeah. Well, one thing I'll say is, definitely keep an eye on our socials. Flywheel the World on Facebook and Anarchy's Forge on Instagram. We'll be posting more and more updates. And it definitely, Chris. It's with so many groups cracking down. And I personally don't like the real steel aesthetic. I understand some people do, and that's all good. But everyone has to be a bit safe out there, especially with everything going on. And most of our consumer base is the U.S., so it's always better to be safe than sorry and keep everything as toy-like as possible. But yeah, definitely keep an eye on their socials. As we said, the reviewers will be receiving their copies eventually, within the next, they're in the hands of UPS when UPS deems fit.
We have another question.
We got a good one.
Oh, I'm not.
So Mainstay says that he or she has not seen the Photon before, and they would like an explanation of its function. So, Alex, would you like to take it, or?
Yeah, if you want to. I mean, I'm more than happy to give the lowdown if you want to. Or
I can give it. Well, okay. So Mainstay. So, in short, it's a sidearm. It's a mechanically actuated sidearm, obviously micro flywheel powered, and beyond that, it has a couple shall we say special effects features to it. So it has a slide action. So it has a moving slide action. So on trigger pull, it moves the slide back. So it has a what I believe the common
Fox
term is
blowback.
Faux blowback.
Yeah.
So and also you can rack the slide. So the reason that's the long story short of why that's in there is because basically this blaster is from a fictional universe that I've been crafting. So I wanted this to have a lot of functionality to it, aside from just being a very reliable blaster with a unique look.
Yeah. Why does a quote unquote phaser need blowback? Science. Some other quick features of the Photon is obviously the magnets, the mini holster attachments are built in. Are part of the thing. It comes with it. So it's very easy to get attach the magnet holster with. Easy field strippability. We got specially designed hardware, essentially takedown pins, that were basically designed for the Photon. So the nose unit pops off stupidly easy, for either storage, field stripping, whatever you want to do. I mean, in reality, you could actually have extra handles and reload the nose over and over again if you wanted to. Not advised, but you could.
You can also use the nose as a fully separate blaster, but that's not recommended.
Yeah, there's some gimmicky things. And as Brendon said, the faux blowback, the faux racking, the racking runs off linear bearings, and it is pretty smooth. It's heavy. It's a heavy trigger pull, but it does feel pretty nice.
There's a lot of functionality wrapped into pretty much everything. Even the things that seem like gimmicks, there is actual functionality in it. The rackability allows you to check the chamber. So if you're familiar with firearms, checking the chamber to see if you have a round left, you can basically do that.
Yeah. Obviously flared magwell, you can see that in the photo. Easy reload. And the scale grips on there are also customizable, which you will see from the reviewers when they come out. All the reviewers have customized scale grips. A little personalized, I think, would be the better word. Obviously, then you have the Picatinny front, bottom, and top. That Picatinny holds a lot of weight. Yeah. Oh, definitely. The Photon, it
What's the
looks like.
definitely?
Oh, the mainstay. The Photon will be coming out first. Yeah, sorry. It's always weird. It's like, oh no, I gotta actually acknowledge the chat instead of just responding to it. Yeah. So mainstay, the Photon will be coming out first. I would be comfortable saying it should be available in a form by the end of this month. Definitely. Very
At
easily.
least for pre-order.
Yeah. And the only reason if when we do the pre-order setup is simply because we have actually a decent amount of internal pre-orders we need to get through. So instead of releasing it and going, okay, we've gotten too many orders and there's a queue, we can just have the pre-order set up and we'll have a cap on the pre-orders where once we hit that number, we can't accept any more pre-orders because we want everyone to receive a blaster in a reasonable amount of time. And once we actually fulfill those pre-orders, then we would move into just main sales on the website. There's also be
also mainstay. Sorry, I'm jumping in there because he's just said another. Yeah. All of our magnets, and Alex, correct me if this is wrong on anything I'm not across. We don't believe in screwing into the plastic with the threads for the holster magnets. All of our magnets actually go into a metal captive nut in the back of the print.
Yep.
So there's no risk of plastic thread stripping out. The only way to strip it out is to physically tear an M5 nut out of the plastic.
Yep. And then, if you do that, pretty damn strong. Or you fell on it. Actually, no, even if you fell on it. Because
it shouldn't pull through.
Yeah. I've also body slammed a Photon, so on purpose. Full on Snorlaxed it.
While it was in the holster?
Yes.
Okay.
I still have the bruise from it, so
there you go. So it's all metal hardware on the holster side. None of our stuff will have direct a plastic only engagement.
Yeah. So it works, yeah. All the magnets, yeah. Works easier. And then I was about to mention something else really quickly, and I completely forgot. Oh yes. One other thing is we will also be we showed on our Instagram a little bit, and I'll go back to the thumbnail really quickly. Going back. We will be actually having some merch as well that will be released with the Photon. We've actually Brendon has adapted the Photon box art into a more movie style poster thing that looks pretty swish on a t-shirt and stuff. So I don't know, if for some reason you want to brag about to people that you got a Photon, it's like, but you don't want to carry it around everywhere, you just wear a shirt. It's easy. Bam. Look at it.
Sometimes you don't need a reason. Sometimes you just want to wear a cool looking t-shirt.
Exactly.
And then people can ask you, what's all that about? And then you can be, well, let me tell you about the new blaster I got. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, next thing you know, you're a CEO of your own company and owning a third world country. It's great.
Your results may vary on that.
Yep. All right. I think we'll...
Flywheel the World takes no responsibility for how anyone interprets the Wizard of Anarchy's Forge.
Yes. No responsibility, but we do amend a cut of any possible ventures coming from this. By the way, if you've eaten during this podcast, remember this is a business lunch. Expense it. And yeah, I think we'll wrap it there.
I think so.
Keep an eye out on our socials of Anarchy's Forge on Instagram and Flywheel the World on Facebook. And we will see you guys next time for when we... Actually, we stayed pretty well on the rails, but when we derail and talk about products and stuff. And then we'll zoom out. See you guys later.